Have you ever done a liver purge, like Andreas
No,
Moritz purge?
no.
So it's basically this thing in mainstream. I know a lot, maybe some of your people are mainstream,
I doubt
or
it
if
at
they're
this point.
very scientifically oriented, they
Yeah.
probably will slam me, and that's okay. I'm okay. I'm used to that. But so there's not a lot of true like scientific studies on these like liver stones and gallstones, but um, I I've seen enough. I've been around the block. I've seen what happens when I do these liver cleanses. The mainstream science will say that it's the olive oil that like congeals and turns into these green stones. I just don't believe it. I just don't buy that. I've had hundreds and hundreds of clients have life-changing experience from liver cleansing, and my own journey as well proved it. And I released all of these green liver stones and gallstones during my liver purge. Okay, so I would use the Andreas Moritz liver purge. This was a genius doctor vibrating at such a high level, filled with light. He's passed on now, but he was radiating with light. This guy, you can look at him, and his thing was the liver is the most important organ in the body, and you have to purify and purge the liver because it's taking the biggest burden from diet, from toxins, from our
Yeah, can
lifestyle.
you explain to people who don't know? Like, so I learned a little bit about this once I started binders, and then people were kind of explaining like how you detoxify. But so if you get exposed to like mold, for example, if you get exposed to mold, it's full of mycotoxins. The mycotoxins that you inhale and everything that get into your blood, they're stored in fat tissue. And in order to get them fat out of fat tissue, they go through your liver, right? And then into bile, and then you excrete that. And if your liver is overwhelmed, like a couple of things happen. One, your fat won't release stored toxins. So then you're just full of them.
Yep.
And that this is actually, that's more well known in literature, right?
Hmm.
About like what happens when people get poisoned by something and like how it goes through the liver into
And fatty
bile.
liver is talked about commonly,
Yeah.
which is a similar, you know. But basically, yes, it's you become sluggish because your liver cannot purify your blood anymore. It's like an oil, like an oil filter in your car. If you have an oil filter that's backed up for years and years and years, your oil in your gas, you're going to burn through gasoline. Everything is going to get like sludgy. That's the same thing that happens to our blood. The blood gets very thick and sludgy when someone's liver is not functioning properly, when there's all kinds of different fatty deposits and toxins stored in there, and it doesn't have enough breathing room. It doesn't have enough
Yeah.
space to do its job. It's just overwhelmed.
That's wild.
Yeah.
I and that so I've had so much blood work over the years, and I know after a number of years of being only eating meat, I remember people commenting. Usually, this was when I got sick from mold. Actually, I got sick from mold, and I did EBU, which is like a blood filter
That's a good one.
thing,
Yeah.
or ozone, and so you can like clearly see your blood. And people have commented, not to boast about this, but that my blood looks good or thinner than what they're seeing, but not in a bad way. And I remember at that time being surprised that you could visually see the difference between
People's
people's
blood.
blood.
Yeah.
That seems not like not great. If you're like, "Oh, you have thick blood," that's not good.
No, it's not.
So you
And
think that's just from not being able to detoxify properly and then toxins build up or something?
I think viral load also thickens the blood. I think like spirochetes and viruses and different pathogens thicken the blood. I think diet thickens the blood. One thing that changed my life was getting really deep with diet, and you did it yourself. And with just going on meat, um, I started diving really deep into Korean 8 body types, which is this theory that basically there's 8 different body types and everyone requires a different diet. But I noticed, and my body type is hepatonia, and we thrive on meat, right? And I noticed when I would eat certain foods, I felt sluggish, I felt thick, I felt
Mhm.
acidic, like I could feel acidity in my saliva almost from certain foods. And so I do think that diet plays a huge role in blood as well, in how someone,
Yeah, that
and
makes
the
sense.
inflammation inside the blood. And if people are eating like when I was a vegan, I was eating tons of nuts, seeds, beans, grains, all of the high lectin foods.
Yeah,
They were inflaming the crap out of me,
yeah.
and making me super sick. And here I was thinking I was doing something healthy.
So how did you
How
do
did I
so are castor oil
really
packs and
good.
castor oils, that's a thing? I had someone else talk about castor oil packs and I was like, I don't get it. I didn't get
Yeah.
too far into it on the podcast, but was like, how can you can put castor oil on yourself
Yeah.
and then it absorbs through your skin?
Yes. This is not the highest, in my opinion, it's not the number one technique. It's a good additional technique. But what we like is we like something called Zen Cleanse Forgive. It's a enzyme-based liver cleanse, and you consume nothing but enzymes for about 24 hours, and you purge the liver the night. And Gary Brecka recommends these products as well, and certain Dana White and raves about these products too. Um, they're legit. I know the owner. And you drink olive oil with lemon at night, and that
Oh.
forces the liver to basically punch out all of the stones that it's carrying, or sometimes the gallbladder can be holding stones.
And the mainstream explanation for this is that the olive
It's
oil
the
turns
olive
into
oil
the
like
stones?
congealed.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
doesn't make
it
sense.
doesn't
Not
make
that
any
fast. Like, how
sense.
fast do the stones come out?
Well, they come out the next morning.
Yeah, well, then that
But
doesn't
I've also
make
tried every
sense.
experiment of mixing the olive oil, letting it sit for weeks at a time. I've tried to figure out mixing it with food, mixing it with different fibers. I've never
Trying to
been
get it
able
to,
to
like,
get
form into
a
stone.
green stone. I've
Yeah.
never been able to do that.
Yeah.
Never.
Wow.
And then also the Maritz cleanse. So we use both. We use the Andreas Maritz cleanse. We use the Zen cleanse liver. The Maritz cleanse is fantastic, and it's a preparation phase for about 3-4 days, and then you do olive oil and liver. Olive oil and lemon at night.
And then are you just in the bathroom for, like, a
You know,
day?
you go right in the bed. You go right on the bed, and you lay on your side, and the next morning you just punch
Ugh.
out these stones in
Okay.
a colander.
Whoa.
Yeah, yeah.
And then how do you feel after that?
Lighter,
Whoa.
lighter. You know, another thing that I have in my head, and none of this is scientific evidence. It's just I'm just a detox dude. All right, but the thing that I have is I was drinking ayahuasca with a very well-known holistic psychiatrist. He's very, very well known. He's been on Rogan. He's been all over the place. And I was drinking ayahuasca with him, and he was releasing liver stones just drinking ayahuasca. Big gallstones, this big, like a golf ball. No olive oil, no lemon, no liver flushing, because ayahuasca purifies the body sometimes. So that was another aha moment for me. You know, okay, there's something here.
Okay.
Yeah.
And another, you know, clue in the direction that it's not olive oil.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.